Hi, welcome to Rotten Rebel. Sandra is back.
Yes, hello.
And we are going to continue my Sexiest off series. And in today's video, we are going to focus on a selection of my Armani fragrances.
Yeah.
So I've been an Armani fanboy since way back. And it started with their clothes. And I just fell in love with Armani's style and the way he thinks when he creates his clothes. So I truly love everything about the brand, and I think that they make quite stunning fragrances for both men and women. So today we are going to check out a few of my Armani fragrances, and you are going to rate them from 1 to 10, but you are going to rate them based on how sexy they are.
Yes.
And when we are done, you guys are going to know which are the best ones and which is the king of sexy from Armani. So without further ado, let's get to it. So first up is Acqua di Gio Essenza. Now, Essenza is unfortunately discontinued. This is a truly beautiful and epic fresh version of the original Acqua di Gio. I absolutely love Essenza. I have about half the bottle of this one left, and I managed to secure another one of these. So, but I sort of shy away from using them because I don't want to run out of it. It's like the last piece of a beautiful, stunning fragrance that is not going to come back. But yeah, this one has citrus notes together with, I believe there's like Calone in it, and even some floral notes. And to me, this is without a doubt the best version of Acqua di Gio. That is still sort of a summery, fresh and all that, and aquatic. So how do you feel about Essenza?
Okay, so I'm not sure you're gonna like what I say because I'm pretty glad that they discontinued this one. And I can really get why they did it because it's not so funny at all.
Ah, okay.
It's not bad, but it just doesn't do anything for me.
Okay.
So on a sexy scale, I mean, this is better than not smelling anything or smelling like sweat or something.
Okay.
So on a sexy scale, this is a 4.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how sexy I feel when I put this one on. I guess this one gives me more of a sort of a unique twist to a fresh and aquatic kind of feeling. But still, I think this is a really well made and high quality kind of fresh fragrance. If you can get your hands on Acqua di Gio Essenza, then I highly recommend you to do so. But in terms of sexiness, this one only received a 4.
Yes.
Wow. Moving on to the next one. So next up we have Acqua di Gio Absolu Instinct.
Okay.
Now I absolutely love Absolu, the original sort of a flanker, but this is a flanker to the flanker. And to me, this one is a bit darker, less sweet and more woody than Absolu. So I believe that this one doesn't get that much love from sort of the fragrance community, but I still think that it's a pretty good flanker to Absolu, which I love. So how do you feel about Absolu Instinct, and how are you going to rate it from 1 to 10 in terms of sexiness?
So this is still freshy with citrus, and I do get that it's more. I can't compare it to the Absolute one because I haven't smelled it yet. But I do feel that it's more woody than Essenza at least. This is better than the other one, and I think it gets a 6 from me.
6. Okay, so we are moving up a bit, but you gotta sort of agree that this one is nowhere near Essenza. Essenza is way more sort of a citrusy, aquatic.
Yes.
So yeah, Absolute Instinct got a 6 in terms of sexiness. Next up we have Acqua di Gio Profondo. I just love Profondo. This to me is like a more modern version of the original Acqua di Gio, and I think this one is perfect if you need something for those warm days, or when you are going on a sort of a beach vacation, or when you are going to the gym, stepping out of the gym, or when you just want that sort of a fresh feeling. So this one has that sort of a slight aquatic side that the original has, but also on a bed of musk and patchouli, and I believe there's amber in it as well. Yeah. This to me is like something that is fresh, elegant, and classy.
Yeah, and I can really agree on those three words. I actually grew up with the original Acqua di Gio. I was a small girl and the teenage boys had Acqua di Gio, and that was the coolest fragrance you could have. So for me, Acqua di Gio, and even this one that actually, as you said, is a more modern version of the original one, is not sexy because I can't really put those things together growing up with this. But it is a really beautiful one, and I really, really enjoy it. So the other ones are not my type of fragrances, but this is one that I actually like, even if it's not the sexiest one for me. So
what are you going to give this one in terms of sexiness, 1 to 10?
6.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I can highly recommend Profondo to you guys if you want a more modern take on the original Acqua di Gio. This one has so far brought me a really good amount of compliments. So I believe that most people are going to like this one on you. So highly recommended, and Acqua di Gio Profondo got a 6 in terms of sexiness. Next up we have Acqua di Gio Absolu. I think this is another one in the Acqua di Gio line that has not received enough praise. I think this one is beautiful, and the moment that scent hit my nose when it was a release, I just knew that I had to get it, and I knew it would be a compliment getter, and I was right. So to me, this one differs from the sort of the rest of the Acqua di Gio line in that it is more sweet thanks to a mix of different fruits. So I believe there's pear, grapefruit, lemon, and a bit of apple in it as well. So yeah, this one to me is less aquatic but more sweet, and it's thanks to that sweetness that a lot of, at least women, love this one. So how do you feel about Absolu, and how are you going to rate it in terms of sexiness from 1 to 10?
It's definitely better than the other ones, and it's because it's less aquatic, as you said. And the sweetness and the fruits actually gets me. So this is more sexy than the previous ones. But still not the sexiest one for me, so it gets a 7. But it's a really, really nice fragrance. I think I would enjoy it on a man, but it's not the sexiest.
Okay. So yeah, we are moving up a bit. Acqua di Gio Absolu got a 7 in terms of sexiness. Moving on to Stronger With You. This is another one that when it was released, I was basically in the store the same day, and the moment I got my first whiff of this one, I knew that I just loved it and that it would be a compliment getter. But I actually had no idea the insane amount of insane compliments I've had with this one on, including from you. I mean, you go bananas over this one.
I love it.
This is another one that I keep recommending to you guys, and I'm not going to stop doing that because this has brought me a ton of compliments from a ton of women. Highly recommended. So Stronger With You has a mix of woody notes and a big sweet side, courtesy of a melon, pineapple, chestnut, vanilla, tonka, and oh my, it's so good.
Yes.
So I know that you are going to give this one a high rating, but let's hear it. How do you feel about Stronger With You, and how are you going to rate it from 1 to 10?
I think Stronger With You is both beautiful and very, very sexy. I really love the fruity notes. I mean, it's not so often you smell pineapple in a fragrance, not even melon. And those are really, if you sniff it, you can really feel them. And together with the sweet vanilla, it's just amazing. So in terms of sexiness, A 9.
Whoa, nice. We are moving up. And this makes me really happy that you gave this one a high score, because that reflects reality. And when I say that, I mean that reflects how I feel when I put it on and how other women have reacted when I have this one on. So highly recommended, guys. Just get stronger with you. This one received a 9 in terms of sexiness. Next up we have Stronger with You Absolutely, and this one is a bit different than the original Stronger with You, and I believe this one has an addition of rum in it that the original does not, and a few other notes. I believe there's a sort of a difference in the woody notes in this one, and I think that they remove that chestnut that I love so much. And also I think that they toned down that sort of a sweet fruity side. So I'm not sure if this one has that pineapple and that lemon and that melon, but to me that there's a sweet side to it, but it's toned down.
Yes.
So this is another one that I just fell in love with. How do you feel about it?
I'm also in love with this one, and I actually think that this one is the dirty version of the other. So the other is maybe like a daytime date, and this is the nighttime date, or this is what you spray on when you get home from the restaurant. So for me, this is definitely a 10. Yes.
Whoa! Okay, wow. Our first 10 in terms of sexiness. And I think you put it in a really good way. Stronger with You to me is sexy and it's beautiful and all that. But this one is actually a bit sort of a more, not dirty, but more sort of a naughty.
Yeah.
If I'm going to put it that way. So our first 10, Stronger with You Absolutely, is a perfect sexy rebel. Nice. Moving on. Next up we have Code Absolu. Now there are a ton of flankers in the Code collection, and most of them are pretty damn good. But I own the sort of a Code, the original and all those, but I stepped away from those after every single guy on planet Earth sort of found them and started using them. Everyone was using them, and I can't have the same as everyone else. But that was until they released Code Absolu. Now, when I put my nose to this one, I was blown away. This one was like pure. This one does something to my brain, and it makes me feel sexy. I get this feeling of seduction. It's alluring, it's mysterious, it's so nice. And I knew that if I would get this one, and when I would use it, I would end up getting compliments. And that was exactly what happened. I ended up getting a lot of compliments, and I believe you have also given me compliments when I've had this one on.
Yeah.
So this one to me is powdery. It has a few woody notes, but it's mostly about like a powdery vanilla and tonka, and that's sort of a core Code DNA in it. This is beautiful to me.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think it's really beautiful. It's definitely attractive on a man. This is not the sexiest one. It's more of a beautiful fragrance for me. So we usually talk about the beautiful and sexy scale are not the same. And I think I'm going to give this an 8. It is really good and it is sexy.
Okay.
I need something more dirty in it.
Okay. Wow, interesting. So 8 is good though.
Yeah.
8 is really good. So I can highly recommend Armani Code, and as you heard, it's really beautiful. It's, I guess, more beautiful than sexy, but beautiful is a good thing when it comes to perfumes. So highly recommended, Armani Code Absolu 8. Next up we have Armani Code Profumo. This to me has that sort of Armani Code DNA. It's powdery, but it has some leather and amber to it, along with a sort of a mix of spices. And I feel that the main difference between Profumo and Absolu is that this one is not as sweet as Absolu. And this one is more spicy and has a more sort of a pronounced leather. So it's this one to me is more darker and perhaps a bit more smoky, but it's not smoke.
Yes, I understand what you mean.
So how do you feel? I really enjoy this one. So how do you feel about it?
I think it's really good, and I do agree on it's more spicy, it's darker, it's deeper. It brings something that you don't get with the Absolute one. And we are getting more dirty with this one, but just an inch. So it gets 8.5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so 8.5 for Armani code Profumo. So the top 3 in terms of sexiness from this selection of my Armani collection is, let's start with number 3.
Yes, number 3 is Armani code Profumo.
Profumo, yeah.
This is really sexy. I think I gave it 8.5.
Yeah.
It's sexy, it's seductive, but you can go sexier. Yes.
Okay. And number 2, let me hold that one for you.
Yeah.
Number 2 was?
Number 2 is the daytime date fragrance, and that's Stronger With You.
Oh, I love Stronger With You.
I think I gave this a 9.
Yeah.
So this is very close to perfect. It's really sexy, and if you maybe add something more dirty like leather, it might get a 10. So this is the number 2.
Yeah, if you guys, I'm glad you mentioned it. If you guys check out some of my like weekly fragrance videos, you are going to find that I used to layer Stronger With You with a bunch of different other fragrances. This one goes so well with a lot of other perfumes. Like you mentioned, I've layered this one with leather, with smoke, with pretty much anything, and whatever you layered it with is just gonna smell more amazing. So highly recommend it. And that one was your second most sexy from this selection. So the king of sexy from Armani is
Stronger With You, absolutely, and it is absolutely the most sexy one. This is amazing. It's really, really good.
So what can we say? This was really interesting. I love Armani, and I have my own favorites, but it was really interesting to hear which one of these that you think are sexy on a man. So Armani Stronger With You absolutely claimed the throne. That's the king of sexy from Armani. So make sure you guys get your hands on it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would highly appreciate if you would like it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and that notification bell, and make sure you head on over to Sandra Solomon Fragrance. I'm going to link her channel in the description below. Give her a follow and make sure you say hello, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.